We heard early today that the D.C. Circuit issued an opinion that was adverse by a 2-to-1 margin of some of the things that's in Obamacare. But if you needed further proof that that's an outlier, all you need is wait a couple of hours for the Fourth Circuit, which they decided the direct opposite. 2 activist Republican judges sought to undermine a law that was passed in Congress, by Congress, upheld by the Supreme Court, is now benefiting millions of Americans. It seems clear to me that that decision will be overturned. In a matter of a couple hours, the Fourth Circuit disagreed, and now they're going to have a hearing on bank. And we have 11 judges who will sit, not some of the retired judges. It'll be all of the judges that are sitting there. So it's absurd to think that Congress intended those subsidies to be available only in the state exchanges. Any unbiased observer who followed the passage of the Affordable Care Act and could read the language would come to the same conclusion. Americans currently receiving these tax credits include an overwhelming number of Republicans, Democrats, and Independents who report being happy with their health care plan. All Americans should know in the meantime they'll continue to receive these tax credits despite Republican efforts to take them away. The tax credits that Republicans want to eliminate are helping millions of Americans afford health care. With the help of these tax credits, millions of Americans are getting health care for the first time. The bottom line is that Americans deserve these tax credits, and I, of course, will oppose any efforts to take them away.
Senator, it appears that the negotiations on the budget supplemental to add more security and economic growth have not been going so well. Were you willing to leave the August recess without passing anything?
I think that if you are focusing on the House, they're going very bad over there because the Republicans can't agree what they want. The Democrats aren't going to support some of their crazy ideas, and the Republicans can't agree which crazy idea they want to put forward. Over here, my caucus is doing just fine. We had a nice caucus today. Senator Mikulski made a very good presentation. We support what she's doing, and she will lay down her bill very shortly. And as to what's in it, talk to her.
Senator Reid, do you believe that you all are on the verge of leaving for the August recess without getting any type of agreement on immigration or on border security? And how do you
Are you talking about the supplemental? Or?
The supplemental and what people are saying should be a change of this 2008 law. I know you don't agree with that, but do you believe that at the end of the day, at the end of the next 7-day period, there will be no action on this? Is that acceptable?
I would hope that were not the case. These agencies are going to run out of money in mid-August. As I said, I think, a really very good proposal. I would hope that, I don't want to make Mikulski's announcement, she can do that herself. But I think we feel comfortable where we are, and I would hope the Republicans would support us.
But on the border crisis, what's the path forward if there's no change in the law? Are you still holding fast that there should be no change in the law at all?
I feel that the President has sufficient leeway under the terms of the legislation that was proposed by Feinstein and passed. He has discretion to do a number of different things.
So are you committed to having a vote on that next week then, Senator?
I'm committed to, I can't, I need a little help from my Republican friends. What about the highway bill? Again, we're trying to move forward on the highway bill. The House has passed a highway bill. We have one out of the Finance Committee. We have 4 or 5 amendments. We're trying to get agreement to allow them to come forward. Right now, the person holding these, there could be others, but the Republicans are holding up any agreement on amendments.
You plan to vote this week?
Pardon me?
You plan to vote this week?
Do I plan to have some votes this week?
On the highway trust fund?
We're going to have votes on the Highway Trust Fund before we leave here. I'd like to do it tomorrow or the next day. Pardon me? I'm sorry, what?
Does the decision that the D.C. Circuit had down today vindicate your decision to go forward with the nuclear option given the
Well, if you look at simple math, it sure does.
Senator Reid, has there been discussion of imposing additional sanctions on Russia after this jet went down, or taking any other kind of...
The answer is yes, but I think that, first of all, we have to look at what happened. 298 dead people for no reason. That area is clearly controlled by the rebels, supported overwhelmingly by Russia and Putin. And we're going to see what the international community is willing to do to look at these people who were basically murdered.
Senator Reid, on another sanctions matter, there's going to be presumably calls from Republicans.
I want written questions from you from now on, because you're here. So, but it's always right, always you, right? Doesn't he always barge in and get a question? Huh?
Maybe he's just good at his job.
Okay, go ahead.
Will you continue to resist any Republican-led efforts to call for votes on Iranian sanctions, given the extension?
I think we should, on Iranian sanctions, let the dust settle. I think we should all feel good that an agreement was reached to move further. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a final agreement. I certainly hope so, but I don't know. But before we start talking about additional sanctions, let's just let the dust settle for a little while.
Senator Reid, do you anticipate floor action on reauthorizing the export-import ban before the August recess?
Ex-Im Bank legislation is extremely important. Right now, we don't have a path forward long-term. That's what we need to do, is long-term extension of the Ex-Im Bank. We don't have that yet. We're working on it as we speak. The person that's been working harder on this than any other senator has been Maria Cantwell, and I've talked to her many times over the last couple of weeks.
Will you fold that into a CR, Senator, Ex-Im Bank?
Well, I hope we don't have to fold it into a CR or some omnibus spending bill. One last question.
Senator, you were pessimistic yesterday on the VA health bill. Do you still feel that way, and how far apart are you?
No, I think the last 24 hours has been quite good. I've talked to Senator Sanders on a number of occasions. He feels progress is being made. From what I was when I was told, Senator McConnell, even a few minutes ago, felt confident we could get something done. I certainly hope so. Remember, we've had 2 wars unpaid for. Need not go through all the deaths and other things that war cost us. About $1.5 trillion, something like that. So I think we should spend a few dollars now, this emergency situation, to take care of some of these people coming home from those 2 wars.
So will that be done by recess?
Oh, I sure hope so. Yep. Thanks.